We are continuing to solve equations, so we have a page in our journal, foldable. We also have this page in our Google Slides in our digital interactive notebook. If you're not here today, you can look at it in your digital interactive notebook. You can also just write this down on page 18. So let's look at it. Solving equations with variables on both sides. So here are the steps. There can be many steps involved when solving equations with variables on both sides. Number one, eliminate any parentheses on either side of the equation by using the distributive property. So we are going to follow these steps as I read them. So let's go ahead and do the first step, which is eliminate any parentheses on either side. So we have to distribute the 4, and it is a positive 4 on the left side. Carry down the negative 8x. And then we have 4 times 1 is 4, so just plus 4. And then 4 times 5x is 20x. The right side, we can't do anything there. There's no parentheses, so we just write it. Negative 6x minus 14. Okay, so we did step 1. Step 2, combine any like terms on either side of the equation. So we look at the left and right side separately. So I will look over here and see if I could simplify anything. And I can, because I have a negative 8x and a positive 20x. So I need to do negative 8 plus 20. If I don't know what that is, I'll use my calculator and leave off the x. If I rearrange it, I could say 20x minus 8x, which is just 12x. And then plus 4. Because I'm just carrying it down. I can't combine those because one's an x and one's not. Now look at the right side. And there's nothing I can do there, so I just rewrite it. Okay, so I did step 2. Step 3, use inverse operations to move all the variables to one side of the equation. So what I usually want to do is move the smaller. So this looks a lot like what we did last week. So if I have a 12x and a negative 6x, negative 6x is smaller, so I'm going to do the inverse, so plus 6x. Now I have 12x plus 6x, 18x. And then just carry down the plus 4, carry down. Do I carry down 14 or negative 14?
Negative 14.
Yeah, because if I ignore what's in front of it, that is a negative 14, not a minus 14, not a plus 14. And then 4 says use inverse operations to move all the constants to the other side of the equation. So I have all the variables over here. So that means I need to move the constants on the other. So I need to move this positive 4 to the other side by subtracting 4. So 18x equals negative 14 minus 4. Yeah, negative 18. And then divide by 18 on both sides. Negative 18 divided by 18. And then the last step is to check your answer by substitution. I'm going to write that in another color. So negative 8 times a negative 1. I'm replacing the x. Plus 4, parentheses, 1 plus 5 times a negative 1, parentheses, equals negative 6 times a negative 1 minus 14. Be careful with these parentheses. Make sure you close them out. So that negative 1 is the x value, and I put it in parentheses. And then this, the 1 plus 5x is in parentheses. And then the second math is the equal sign. And make sure you use the minus 14 and not negative 14. So if it comes out as 1, that means we checked it and it is correct. All right, so hopefully you're comfortable with solving these equations now. Let's move on to the special cases. So sometimes whenever you solve equations, the x values cancel out, and that just leaves a number equals a number. So in these two cases, here's our example. So when you solve an equation with variables on both sides and eliminate the variables completely, leaving an untrue statement, so a false statement, the equation is said to have no solutions. So instead of writing no solution, you can also use the symbol for no solution, meaning a 0 with a slash through it. That means there's an empty set. There's no answer. That will make it true. So if you look at this problem, let's go through the steps. They already worked it out, but we're just going to go through the steps. Draw a line down the equal sign. So step 1 was to simplify. The left side nothing could simplify, but the right side we could distribute the 2. And so we have 8x minus 6 equals 8x plus 10. And then we move the x, but neither one's smaller. They're the exact same. 8 minus 8x is 0. 8 minus 8x is 0. And so that leaves us with negative 6 equals negative 10. And that is a false statement. That is not true. Negative 6 will never equal 10. So that means that there is no solution. So anytime the x's cancel out and it leaves two numbers that are not equal, it's no solution. You can also have infinite solutions. What's the sign for infinity? Do y'all remember?
8 sideways.
A sideways 8, yeah. Like that. You do it like that or like this. So we could have no solution, then we could have infinite solutions. When you solve an equation with variables on both sides and eliminate the variables completely, leaving a true statement, then the equation has an infinite number of solutions. So we can write the infinity sign, or we can write an R with an extra line down it. That means all real numbers. That means I could plug in any real number and the statement would still be true. The equation would still be true. So the way this one comes about is, let's look at this example. Draw a line down the equal sign. The left side, there's nothing to simplify. The right side, we distribute. Distribute the 2. And whenever you distribute the 2, you actually get 8x minus 6 equals 8x minus 6. We're going to subtract the variable. And 8 minus 8x is 0. 8 minus 8x is 0. And we're left with negative 6 equals negative 6. That is true. Negative 6 does equal negative 6. So that means there are an infinite number of solutions to this equation. So we can write either one of these symbols. All right, so I'm going to have you do these 4 problems. You're going to get 2 answers that are actual answers, and you're going to get 2 of these special cases. So it's your job to find out which ones are the special cases. Is it no solution or infinite solutions? And then answers on 2 of the others. All right, y'all go ahead and work these out. I'm going to pause the video. So let's see how you did on the first one. So you would distribute the 4. You get 8x. Carry it down. 4 times 4 is 16, so 16x. 4 times a negative 3 minus 12 equals. And then 4 distribute to the 6x and the 4, giving us 24x plus 16 minus 4. Before I start moving x's around, I have to simplify the left side and then simplify the right side. So once I simplify the left side by 8x plus 16x, making it 24x. And then the minus 12, because I'm just bringing it down. And now I look at the other side. There's no other x's, so I'm just going to write 24x. But there is a 16 minus 4. And they're right beside each other. So if I have 16, I take 4 away, get plus 12. So after I simplify them, now I can move the x. You always want to move the x value first. So I move the smaller one. They're actually the same, so it doesn't matter which one. It's going to look the same. If I have 24, I take 24 away, get 0. Now I get negative 12 equals positive 12. That is a false statement. So that means no solution. I do want to show you how to check your work because it says on here, don't forget to check. Okay, to check no solution and infinite solutions, add this to your notes, please. The way you do that is you are going to put in y1, you're going to put the left side of the equation. And y2, you're going to put the right side of the equation. And I'm going to tell you what they'll look, well, we'll look at what they look like. So let's put this one in. So this whole thing, go to y equals, right here, and it'll come up like that. And clear out what's in there. And I'm going to put it in the original left side. So 8, remember where x is? It's right here beside alpha, beside the green button. So 8x plus 4 parentheses 4x minus 3, close parentheses. Then in y2, put in the right side, 4 parentheses 6x plus 4, close parentheses, minus 4. And then go to graph. What do you notice about those lines?
Parallel.
Yep. So no solution is when you see parallel lines. Parallel means they never intersect. So there's no solution. A solution is the x value where they intersect. So if it's no solution, they will never intersect. So then what do you think all real numbers is going to be?
Just one.
It's going to be just one line. Yeah, you're right. So let's look at this one. Clear out what's in Y1 and Y2. Just push the clear button. Clear is right here. And let's put in this example here and see what it looks like whenever it's just one line. 8x minus 6, 2 parentheses, 4x minus 3, close parentheses. What's really cool is the calculators that are the color calculators. You'll actually see something really cool. So, y'all ready to watch mine? I hit graph. There it is. It's blue. And then what happens? It turns red. It's because they graph right on top of each other. It's the exact same line. So the all real numbers are infinite means same line. So you will only see one line. And you can also look at the table, which is second graph. So if I go second graph, see how the table's the exact same? So if you aren't using the color one, you only see one line. You can double check that the table has the exact same points. Pretty cool. All right, so let's look at this next example. So we need to combine like terms. There's no distributing. So we would need to combine the 16 plus 6. Yeah, so negative 2x plus 22 equals, we have 38 plus 8. Yeah, so we have negative 5x plus 46. So I know automatically this is not going to be one of those special cases because they don't have the exact same x. So that means I will get a solution. I want to move the smaller x. So which one's smaller?
Negative 5.
Negative 5x. So plus 5x to both sides. So negative 2 plus 5 is 3x plus 22 equals 46. So now I'm just following the steps. Minus 22. 3x equals
24.
24. Divide by 3. X equals 8. All right, so now plug in the solution because you need to check it. 16 minus 2 times 8 plus 6 equals 38 minus 5 times 8 plus 8. Anytime you're in the graph or in the table, to get out from that, hit second mode, which is quit. So second mode. 16 minus 2 times 8 plus 6. Second math. 38 minus 5 times 8 plus 8. And it checks out. Okay, let's go to the bottom left. Simplify. So I need to look at them separately. That means I need to distribute the 2. So it's 5. 2 times a negative 4.
Is a negative 8.
Negative 8x, yeah. 2 times 20.
Wait, what did you keep the positive for your 5?
5 is positive.
Okay, so you just
8 is negative. So I can put plus a negative 8 or I can just do minus 8. And then the right side, there's nothing left to do. Now combine like terms. So what are we combining on the left side? Yeah, 5 and a positive 40. I'm going to carry down the negative 8x plus 45 equals 5 minus 3x. Now, which one am I going to move?
negative 8.
Negative 8, because that's smaller. So I'm going to do plus 8x. I get 45 equals 5. Negative 3 plus 8. 5. It's a positive 5, so I'm not going to put minus 5. I'm going to put plus 5x. So this tells me it's not going to be one of those special cases. So I'm going to subtract 5 on both sides. 40 equals 5x. Divided by 5. 40 divided by 5? 8. So x equals 8. Substitute to check your answer. So if you get 0 on it, you can double check that you put everything in correctly. That's the best thing to do. And then check and make sure you did the problem right. So that one worked. All right, last one. All right, if we look at the left side, we need to simplify it. So we have 10x plus 6 plus 2x. I need to combine. Add the x's. So 10x plus 2x. 12x plus 6. And then look at the other side. 12x plus 6. Make sure you multiply 6 times 1. 6 times 2. What do you notice about this?
They're the same.
It's the exact same. When we subtract the x's, I get 6 equals 6. That's true. So what does that mean my answer is?
It is infinite.
Infinite. And we can check it by plugging into y1 and y2. And whenever it's infinite solutions, it's the exact same line. So we can check to make sure it graphs on top of itself or that the table is the exact same. So the table is the exact same. If I look at the graph, it'll graph a blue one and then a red one right on top of it. If you're using the color calculators. If you're not using the color calculators, you can go to the table to double check that. All right, so we have checked it. We're good. This is our solution. Okay, this is going to be glued in on page 18 in your journal. Your assignment is to just do 8 problems right now. Tomorrow we'll finish the other 8 in class. So 8 problems is your homework. And so it says, as you solve each equation, write the letter beside the equation on your notebook. Obviously, there's not enough room for these. So you're going to have to do it on a sheet of notebook paper. After you finish, you're going to not type because this was a Google Slides worksheet. You're going to write the letter that corresponds to the type of solution that it is. So if it's one solution, you'll put that here. If it's no solution here, infinite solutions here. So see how each one of these has a letter? So those letters are what you're going to put here. As you get them done, mark them off. Okay? If you're online, you can actually do this online and drag each one of these over and then on another sheet of paper, upload a picture of your work.